You have something, every single one of them, whether they are believer or not, every single one of them seems like they have received something from God. They may think of it as a gift from God, even spiritual gift from God, but they are not necessarily gifts nor spiritual. What they are confused with is a talent. Have you heard of that term, talent? Oh, you're so talented. You're so talented to do certain things better than others. That's what they have. That's what they have received from the beginning when they were born. That's what God has given to them as a grace. It is not gift, but it is a grace of God which has endorsed those things for every people. So every individual or persons have what they call as a talent. Okay? What does this talent do? You have to understand, talent is different from spiritual gift. It may be confusing, but it is different. That's why we need to differentiate, and we will find out what are the spiritual gifts that you may have today, okay, and you may not have, but also the talent that we need to discuss. This one I cannot tell you what you have, what you have not, but you should know what you have as a talent. Why? Every single individual one of peoples have given this talent at least one, while some people have more than one, multiple talents, what others do not have, what others may have, but you have comparatively better, or at least a comparative one. So talent is something to make you have a successful life in the world. Okay, let me say that again because it's important. Why would God give talent to people in the from the beginning if He does not want a non-believing person to succeed in the world? Why would He give that talent to the person? Even if he is not a believer, even if he has not even come to a faith, he was just born and he's just growing. But why do he do that in the first place? Why? Because it is gracious God. God is so graceful. God wants all of us to make a living. He understands that we are living in a very difficult world. Not our generation only, but all generations have lived in a certain form of difficulties and challenges. So, and God understand, if God has not given no talent to no one, they won't be able to survive, because there will be few people who will be able to make a living out of certain businesses and certain form of activities they do in the world. So God has given each individual what they call as a talent according to the Bible. So you have the talent in order for you to succeed. And if you want to know what kind of things that you need to do in your life, whether you're a believer or not, of course you're a believer, that's why we need to talk about spiritual gift, but I'm talking about how you make living. Think about it. If you came to faith and you're a believer, and like myself, you may want to just serve the Lord, and you don't want to do anything else, but you just want to serve the Lord, because that's how I was. Certain desire came to my mind because I was an entrepreneur when I came to be a believer. Before then, all I knew was I majored in economics. All I knew was about commerce, was about doing business. And I was working in a large corporations, and I was working in several different jobs. But the only thing that I knew that I could do better than others, that I was very well off, was to do business, to do transactions, to do investment. That's the only thing that I knew that I could make a living, that I could do better. Okay, but suddenly when I met the Lord, when I became a believer, those things I really did not want to do anymore. I did not want to calculate anything. I did not want to do any business. None of those things interested in me. And somehow, it's still mysterious to me. It's out of irony. What I have become was, when I became a believer, all those things that I enjoyed until yesterday I enjoyed it so much. I loved it. What I liked it, I knew I was good at it. Suddenly, when I became a believer, all those things that I did not want to do it, I almost even despised it. I don't even wanted to touch it. And all I wanted to do was to serve the Lord. But think about it. Because I was doing certain things to make a living, and I was doing so well, for that realm of my life, because I was doing well, I was making money and I was making a living. But when I became a believer, suddenly that I could not do those things because I did not like it, I did not want it anymore, I had no desire. Now the problem comes. You know what that problem is? The problem is, how am I gonna make a living? Okay, I want to share the good news, I want to preach, I want to teach. Okay, all those things are very noble and good, but how am I going to make a living if I cannot make a living, if I cannot make a dime, if I cannot, earn something? I won't even be able to buy the Bible, right? Do you see the point? What I'm trying to say is, there are certain things that help you grow and make a living, that has to be divided. What talent does is, it helps you to make living before or after, whether or not you are a believer or not. Whether you came to faith or not, what you need to find is, you need to find what is God-given talent in your life. Every single one of them has it. If they do not find it, they will constantly suffer. Why? Because God has given every single one of them to succeed in His region with that talent. Okay, let me say this again. If you have, let me rephrase it, not say this again, but let me rephrase it in other ways. If you have a talent to become a very good investment banker, okay, if you know how to pick out a good stock, say that's a great talent, right? You somehow understand that, you somehow understand the innate value of a certain company, and you know how to make an investment. Well, to make it even easier, let's say, um, you have a certain eye, very keen eye, to look at a real estate. To other people, it looks like a just rural, abandoned, useless piece of land. But when someone look at it, and you look at it and you say, "Oh, this is a very good piece of land." In few years' time, this piece of land will be definitely developed, and other people do not see it. Other people see it as a just useless wasteland. But when you see it, it's a very valuable piece of land. When you have that kind of keen eyes, you become the real estate agent or investment banker or certain form of stockbroker, not stockbroker, but real estate broker. Whatever you can be, what would happen to your life? You will become very successful. Your business will be very lucrative. You will instantly very well off. You'll be wealthy and rich with the financially well off when you have that. But think about it. If you have that kind of keen eyes and keen ability, and you cannot, if you happen to be living in, let's say, Wall Street, New York Wall Street, if you live in that region, you will be surrounded with tons of people who have the same talent, right? If that is the case, you won't be able to make a good living out of it, right? What you need to do is, you need to change your position in order for you to be successful. If you do, will you be successful or not? Yes, you will. What you need to do is not talent, because you already found it. What you need to do is, you need to find your geography. You need to find your position. You need to find your own. You need to find your own position in a certain place and time. That's all you need to do. That does not negate that you have a talent, but you have a talent, but you need to find a place. Okay? It's the same as the real estate agent. That's what talent does. So can we blame God when we do not make a living? No, we cannot blame God for that. Can we blame God for saying, "God, Why you have given so much to that person but none to me? We cannot say that, because either you have not found what is your talent, or do not you haven't carefully found your position. Because God has given that grace, not a gift, but that grace to every single individual person to make living, to be successful in the world. But why? Why would God be so gracious? He has given this rain of pouring to even non-believers. Why would He do that? Because we cannot understand, we cannot explain other than the grace of God. But ultimately, what I can understand, what I want to argue, and what I want to emphasize to you is God has given that grace in order for them to realize there is a certain person who loves them regardless of their past or their belief. So if you have received enough, what you automatically should think of it is, oh, I should be thankful, because not everyone who have received are grateful to someone who have given those things to them. So if you have received, you should naturally think about of the person who have given those things. But if you cannot think about it logically, you will be only thanking yourself. Oh, I'm such a great person. I'm such a talented person. I am so, so what is it? So massively smarter than all the others. This all me who can do all, who made all this success. It is my own tower that I have built it out of my own hands. That you will be thanking yourself. You will be praising yourself, right? But I think God has given those talents to people to make a living, to be successful, so they will find that one and only one who has given that talent to him or her. That's what I think about talent. But spiritual gift is different.